Welcome to Living Magically. I'm your host, Magical Michelle. And this week we are entering into September. We are leaving August behind and moving deeply into the season of fall. We're moving into the season of closure, really, because astrologically, this is the last 4 months of 2025, or 5 if you're looking at the year of the snake. And what we're really seeing here is the need to look deeply into your soul, look into your heart. It's a very intense time. So I'm wearing my purple love glasses and reminding everybody to look at everything through the lens of love. And this is going to be a really key theme as we are moving into an eclipse week. This week at the peak of September 7th, we have a full moon lunar eclipse. Now, it isn't visible in North America. It might be visible from other parts of the world, but it is an entire full moon eclipse. And with that idea of having a full moon lunar eclipse, we have emerged into the deepest part of the eclipse season. And we're starting to feel very intense. And as the tides get really strong with this, there is a purification process happening. It's even starting to sprinkle and rain where I'm at. So I wanted to come on a little early to make sure that I was able to do this. I'm just going to be doing them whenever I can, as I'll be traveling through the next 6 weeks. So just bear with me if they're at different times than normal. But what I am committed to doing is bringing a piece of information every week. And this week, my channeled message for you is that forgiveness and gratitude are going to get you through the intensity. Forgiveness and gratitude. So gratitude opens things up when you can see what you have and how far you've come and where you are instead of where you're not. And really give that gratitude, give that appreciation to those around you, to the universal life force energy. When you can be living in gratitude rather than fear, this is going to shift the energy. Anytime we see an eclipse, we're looking at illumination into the darkest places of our soul for soul correction, not because it's a punishment. And I really want to, raindrops on my glasses. I really want to encourage you to dig in, dive deep into your true heart. How do I forgive? And a lot of people have been talking about, how do I forgive someone who's deeply hurt me? And the answer is, your choice is to not be punished by their harm. Your choice is to go on and live in fulfillment and to move forward. And one of the tools I use is the Ho'oponopono prayer, and that is, I'm sorry. And you're really saying, I'm sorry that you needed to hurt me. But if you're saying it to yourself, I'm sorry you aren't where you want to be right now, or I'm sorry that you made this choice, or I'm sorry that it's not working out, whatever. And if you are giving this as an apology to another person, really actually take accountability. So I'm sorry is the first phase. And I encourage you to go all the way into it. Go very, very deep into the energy of, I wish it could have been different, but I'm not going to hold on to it anymore. And then you're going to move into, please forgive me. This is so powerful, the asking for forgiveness and the choosing of moving on. This is the surrender. Please forgive me. I turn it over. And if you're looking to forgive yourself, this is a very powerful moment. I forgive you. And so I'm sorry, please forgive me, and I forgive you. So in this tool, I like to use sort of a Louise Hay aspect where I am saying, I forgive you for not being who I needed you to be or wanted you to be or the situation to be what I was hoping for it to be. And we're moving into the law of acceptance here, where we're humbling ourselves and being in the recognition of this is what it is. This is where we are. This is what is happening. And that doesn't mean you can't have firm, strong boundaries against another person. But if it is you to you, and you need to forgive yourself, this is the key. Really, I like to place my hand on my heart. I'll even place my hand on my forehead too, like my finger directly here on my forehead, and I forgive you for whatever illusion you had, for whatever you whatever you thought was going to happen, wherever you think you should be, because we get caught up in the shoulda, woulda, couldas. We get caught up in the I should be here now. And you know what? There's circumstances, and this is the place where you can set yourself free. This is the place where you can set another person free. This is where you can set yourself free from the hurt, the cause and effect. This is the moment. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I forgive you. I forgive myself. I forgive the situation. And really, forgiveness is key. And moving back into that gratitude, thank you. Thank you for what you have done. Thank you for your honesty. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for this opportunity to make a different choice, whatever. But thank you. And gratitude is the attitude. So in this, first you've taken accountability, then you've asked for forgiveness. In this place, you're looking for the lesson. You're looking for where you are and what is possible. And you're looking to collapse time here, because if you're stalling out in the past on the shoulda, woulda, couldas, if you're thinking about what has happened, what isn't happening, what could happen, all of those things, you are not living in the future. You are not living in the love energy that is where the seed of creation comes from. So you move back to, I love you. And you might not like something. You might not like yourself. You might not like what happened. But love is a transcendental experience. This is the energy of understanding the divine and recognizing the divine within you. And so in this, I love you, start with yourself. I love you. I will cherish you. I will take care of you. I will have compassion for you. Because a lot of times we have love and compassion for someone else far greater than we're willing to have for ourselves. And so as we're in this cycle of completion, look for the lesson you have learned. Look for the divine in the people around you. Look for what you learned from them. Maybe you absolutely did not get any good come from it except your own self-love, your own self-authority, or a lesson of what you would do next time, how you would move forward, change your frequency. But remember, you are divine love. You in your heart, in your body, are part of the indwelling spirit. You have a spirit inside of your soul that is ready to transcend. And this is a transcendental moment. This is the opportunity to grow beyond your limitation, beyond your past, beyond the vessel of receiving. So in this, are you willing to receive? Are you open to asking for what you need? Are you open for creating boundaries? Are you open for saying what is not acceptable and what is? This is all going to be themes here with this Piscean full moon. So anytime we have Pisces, we're talking about the energy of that deeper illumination and heartfelt love, such a watery, loving environment it to be in. So self-love and self-care are going to be themes coming into this very potent weekend. It is, when I'm recording this, September 1. So you may be listening to this later, but September 1 is always an opportunity for a new beginning. Every time you have a new moon, it's a, a new month. It's a time for a fresh start. It's a time to do your cleansing rituals, your letting go rituals, and your calling in rituals. And so this week, it's really good to say, okay, I've got 4 more months in 2025. I've got 5 more months in the year of the snake. What am I letting go of? What am I transforming? How far have I come? So that goes back to that gratitude for this season. How far have I come? What have I accomplished? Because I think sometimes we're just so focused on what we haven't accomplished that we don't see where we have come from. How much have you already accomplished in 2025? What has been the highlights so far? What was the highlight of the summer season? So at least for Americans, I really see Labor Day, this is Labor Day today, as the day we close out the summer season. Now, we may still have a lot of heat, especially here in Florida, and things, and not the full fall effect, although I am hearing that it's very fall and cool and crisp in the northern part of the United States. We feel that turning of the season as we start turning inward, as we end the last month of high growth season, as we come into harvest. Gratitude is that harvest season, and we're also in Virgo. So when we're in a season such as Virgo, Virgo is looking for soul correction. This is where we're looking for systems and plans and housekeeping and house cleaning and anything, including radical health, that is going to move the needle forward and create systems for creating the whole of creation. The Virgo is the high priestess. It is the time for alchemical transformation, which means transformation you can't come back from, which is also a deep eclipse season message. So as we're through this eclipse and starting on the 7th and going to the 22nd, you'll be in the liminal in between, which is in between these two eclipses. The lunar eclipse comes first and the solar eclipse comes second and on the equinox. So this means we are going to be in a very deep season of letting go. We're still in the imagining season this week. You still get to be in the expansion energy. We do have a little dual energy of expansion and contraction at the same time. You're going to always find that in eclipse season. So what are you letting go of? And deeply more personally, what old identity, what old grudges, what old beliefs are you letting go of? Who do you not have to be anymore to be the one you're becoming? So you might feel a little bit of I'm not the version of me that I want to be yet, but I'm not the person I was. And so that's the liminal in between. That's that place where in one hand, I'm not feeling like I'm there yet. And on the other hand, I'm not the old person. So go all in on the vibration of who you're becoming. Go ahead and move into that energy as the depth of your soul energy. This is who you are. This is who you're becoming. These are the actions taken by the version of me. These are the things that are being called upon. So this is a week for that illumination to come through. So if you get divine inspiration this week, act on it. If you're feeling stuck, take an action. If you're feeling anger, move to forgiveness. If you're not sure what to do, go to gratitude. But whatever you do, remember everybody is in this together. As we get a full moon lunar eclipse, that means the tide is high. That means that there's a lot of energy, and the Schumann resonance and all of the other things like solar flares have been the most intense I've ever seen them. And so remember, everybody is feeling this emotion. Everybody is feeling the depth here. So be kind. When you don't know what to do, be kind. When you feel like you're in a pickle, take accountability, go the high road. When you feel like you're not sure what to do, stop and go back to your devotion, go back to your practices. It's a fantastic time. It's the beginning of the school year as I see it. So it's a time to go back to things that used to work for you that maybe, and we have sirens going off, so I apologize. But when there's an emergency, return back to your center, return back to your source, return back to remembering that you are sourced and resourced, and come from that place of illumination, come from that place of refill. So if you need to refill, refill. If you need to rest, rest. If you need to get something done, do that. But remember, at this time, be nice to everyone, including yourself. Become your own best friend, your own best lover. Take extreme self-care to the limit. Put your absolute looking at things through heart-shaped glasses on. Be kind. Be gentle with yourself. This isn't necessarily the week to push an agenda, but it is the week to be in the asking to receive. I do feel that is there to receive and to be open to new things coming in, and the allowance of that, the allowance of your miracles, the allowance of things that are in your heart and your mind and your soul and your spirit. That's what's happening now. So I know it's a little bit last minute, but I do have a couple of spots, 2 very special spots, maybe 3 if someone really wanted to come to Egypt with us. The tour starts on the 10th. So there is time for that person who is just wanting to go and be part of the very special trip to Egypt that is happening right over these powerful times and ending at the Sphinx and the pyramid with that eclipse at the equinox. There is also an opportunity if you feel that it is time to get your coaching for this year. I have my mastermind starting, and I have 2 more slots for full-time coaching in the Design Your Destiny package. So which includes the mastermind. So if this is what you've been thinking about, if you've been hanging out on the edge saying, well, I'm not sure, I'm telling you, take fast action. Another piece of information that came through so powerfully was something I'm now going to call the power 24 hours. When you feel like there is something that comes through, take action on it within the first 24 hours. There is a power in taking action, showing the algorithm, showing up and taking action. So when you are feeling inspired, make that into an action step. When you hear an offer, take the offer. When you're being called to something, make that first step. And that is part of this time frame. This time is not for the weak, and you are not weak. You might feel weak, but I believe in you, and I know that it is time for you to step into your destiny. It is time for you to align with your soul's true desire. It is time for you to be in the magic, the miracles, and the making as a co-creator. And whether you do that in a deep meditative process or you reach out to me, I know this is the week that is calling to our souls to be ready for those big, huge stages, because 2026 is calling and there is no year like 2025. So let's end this year in strength. Let's end this year in courage. Let's end this year by claiming our sovereignty and our personal power. And if I can be of service to you in that, please reach out and allow me to be part of that for you. And let's co-create some miracles. And whatever you do this week, be kind, be gentle, and live magically.